at the same time. So the sweater I'm wearing, Jacqueline Smith, one of our favorite designers here at HSN. You can see that it's all done with this spray of rhinestones. I'm in the egret. There's a black, there's a mauve, so you have 3 beautiful colors. And the item number for this one is 846 $395 at $59.95. You can check out the entire host closet by going to hsn.com. And of course, these are all DG2. Don't mark it on the calendar. January 5th, brand new show coming up at 6 p.m. I cannot wait. But okay, with thousands and thousands sold, I am so excited about this next presentation. And this is the only one today. We are now down to 2 colors. We started off with 5. This is the blue. I have blue and gray. Well, what is this? This is your opportunity to not only get amazing warmth. I am so happy. This beautiful warmth, but at the same time, you get the incredible ambiance that really only a fireplace can provide. So here's your chance to not have to heat up an entire room. And I know right now, let me just tell you what, I hear from so many people out there. The temperatures are, look, they're up on the left side of your screen. It's absolutely freezing in so many different parts of the country. As you can see, the 30s, the 20s, 21, 19 degrees in Yellowstone Park. But here you have a beautiful fireplace that you can easily move from room to room that's going to give you all the warmth. You get that beautiful realistic flame. So I can have the warmth with the flame. I can have just the warmth. I can have just the flame. And you know what else I can have? I can have that crackle sound that we love, that I love from a fireplace. Today, marked from $136.99 on sale. And which one is the most limited, Rock, now that we're down to the final 2 colors here? $119.99. The gray is the most popular. You're going to see that in a minute. And it is the most limited. 5 flex pay payments. And I love that because we have 5 flex pay on it today. You're going to get this home for $24 on any credit card. And by the way, check that out. 6,485 sold, and this is the end of them today. And my fabulous friend, Mr. Kerry McNally, is with me, who's going to tell us a lot more. And I love it. You've matched it. You got a little gray, a little blue going on. Well, the gray and that fabulous gray hair. When did that all come in? I love it.
Thank you. It is by far the most popular, and it is the best of all the worlds because it looks and feels like a real potbelly stove, but potbelly stoves weigh about 500 to maybe 850 to 1,000 pounds. You have to get a permit. You got to put a hole in the side of the house, and you got to put a chimney, chop wood, all that stuff. Well, this is a wonderful homage to the classic potbelly stove, and it really does create a lot of heat. First and foremost, it is a wonderful space heater that will create heat and warmth, cozy warmth, in a space up to 466 square feet. That's analogous to a 2-car garage. I mean, that's a really big space. And it has the same flame effect that we're used to seeing in Hollywood movies and when we're streaming our favorite series. That's the same exact flame effect. Now, if you take a look at this floor plan, Bobby Ray, you'll notice that those bedrooms are like 180 square feet, approximately. A home office is about 180 square feet. That living room is less than 420 square feet. So you can easily heat both the living room and that kitchen area, which is oftentimes what people love about it. But a home office, any bedroom, bathroom, you've got all the heat you need. And when we talk about zone heating, I always say, let's take the zone heating challenge here. Turn the thermostat way down in your house. Yeah, go over and just turn it way down when no one's looking. Turn it down to like 65, 66. That would be maybe uncomfortably cold, right? Don't worry about it. Turn your warm living heater, stove, fireplace up to 72. 73. That's exactly the temperature it's going to be in that room that you're spending all your time in. You can recapture that room that you typically close off for the winter. And here's how it works. This animation makes it perfectly clear how this works. It pulls the cold air in, as represented by the blue arrows, in from the back. Then it goes up, over, and around those ultra bulbs. Now, those infrared bulbs will heat that air without drying out the air. And that's one of the reasons it's been so popular, Bobby Ray, is because you turn on forced air, whether it's electric, gas, or even oil heat, and right away takes all the moisture out of the air. So you get that dry throat sometimes. Sometimes you get the dry eyes and you get the dry sinuses. It never does that because it heats objects in the room and it heats us subcutaneously. And I always love the story of when we were kids and you go out in the snow and you're in the shade and you're freezing, but then you step out into the sun and you're warm subcutaneously from the inside out, like a warm bowl of soup or a hot meal on a cold winter's night. And remember, you can use the flame effect, same flame effect that they use in Hollywood for television and film, with or without the heat. So you can have this ambiance and romance.
And do you have different brightness levels too, don't you?
You have 4 separate brightness levels. And one of the things we're really proud of is the safety features. There are 2 super important safety features. One, if it ever overheats for any reason whatsoever, it shuts itself off immediately. And if it were to ever fall over, forward, backward, to the left or to the right, maybe the puppies or the kids come running through, it will shut off before it hits the ground. It has a pendulum shut-off switch. So it never will overheat, and if it does, it will shut itself off, and it will never fall over. But if it falls over, it will shut off before it hits the ground. It also has a 12-hour timer.
I love
so if you want it to be cold, you want to save a few dollars on heat, and you want it to be really cold at night, because you've got your comforters on, you've got today's special, you've got all these wonderful blankets and cozy comforters, do that. But then you can set the heater to turn on like a half an hour before you get out of bed. I got a wonderful email from a viewer who said, I set my coffee maker and my warm living heater Fireplace to turn on exactly 15 minutes before I get up. So she gets up and the bedroom's warm. She walks into the kitchen and there's the coffee ready to go.
Could you imagine, or put it in the bedroom, or put it in the bathroom? I mean, put it anywhere. Okay, here's where we are. Just to update everyone, in the gray that you see with Carrie, we have fewer than 400. So it's 300, a little over 300 left now in the gray, and then a few more available in the blue. Then that is it. This is the end of them. We showed you the counter in the very beginning. 6,400 of these have been spoken for, so it has been wildly popular. And you know, it costs a lot of money to cool a home, to air condition a home, but boy, it costs so much more to heat. And to be able to do anything at all, look, we're all very conscious about, you know, a lot of things in this world right now that are so much money, where you have the chance to not heat an entire house when you're in the kitchen cooking, or when you're in the bedroom sleeping, or when you're in the living room or in the den just watching TV. So the luxury of zone heating is so important. And the cool thing about this, you even have the remote control. So it's easy.
Yeah, and it's a universal remote control. A lot of folks have been getting 2 of these, and maybe one for upstairs, one for downstairs, one for the home office, one for the living room, bedroom area. And if you mix and match them, don't worry about it. It's a universal remote. Now, I want to take you on a little quick tour here, Bobby, of the front. So you have 2 ways to operate the unit. You can use the remote right there, and all the buttons are very intuitive, and you don't even have to put your readers on to see it. But here you have a big LED panel. Right here, it looks like a snowflake, because that's how you turn it on to high. Now at high, we're talking about over 5,000 British thermal units, 5,000 BTUs. That's how powerful this is. On low, it's over 3,000 BTUs.
Wow.
Here we can go up or down with the thermometer. Here's your clock, and that's your 12-hour timer. It's a great idea to set this to turn on before you have to get out of bed. Here's your flame effect. I have 4 different flame effects to choose from. I can turn it off completely, and I can turn it off to full. And there's your power switch. And then this is magnetically closed and disappears just like that. This is the French blue. It's been magnifique.
Magnifique.
It's been very popular. I feel like I should put on my scarf and my beret.
Little beret, maybe.
The other part of this too, by the way, Bobby Ray, with all that performance and with all those safety features, this weighs less than 11 pounds.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
can pick this up and move it around. Obviously, please unplug it and let it cool down before you try to move it. But you can move this around. It's 21 inches tall, it is 17 inches wide, and about 11 inches deep. So it has a very small footprint. And you can see the flame effect from 3 separate sides. And so when you're binge watching your favorite series and they're in a restaurant or they're in a cozy Airbnb or something like that, and you see that fireplace going in the back, of course that's not a real fireplace. But it is the best of the best when we talk about flame effects and, you know, special effects. It's the same exact technology that they use in Hollywood. And now you can see here the top. The top part is where those heating elements, those infrared heating bulbs, these bulbs are what heat the room without drying out the air. So congratulations if you picked up yours.
That's a big deal.
Yet to jump on in.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you can have this for the extended return policy. Here's that animation again, Bobby Ray. The blue arrows represent the cold, the bitter cold air. It's pulled in, almost like a little bit of a vacuum. It's drawn in, and then it goes up, over, and around those infrared heating bulbs, and it gently pushes that heat out into the room. And it gets that room that you're in to the exact temperature that you want and that you deserve. I mean, we talk about it being bitterly cold out. Now, the other thing I love about this is keeping that room that you typically close in the wintertime open all winter. Maybe it has a piano in it, or it's your music room, or it's your craft room, or maybe it's that unfinished basement, or it's slightly finished basement, or maybe you want to tinker around in the garage, or you have one of those 3-season porches. Well, now it's a 4-season porch.
Exactly.
You don't want to put it out in the rain, obviously. There has to be a cover over it. You don't want it to get wet. Obviously, it's a corded appliance. We all know that. But it's a great way to recapture rooms that otherwise would be closed off for the winter.
That's such a great point. And the fact that it's not going to dry out the air. All right, we just had up on the screen the temperatures. Well, I'm not telling you anything you don't know if you live in any of those locations. You know it's freezing out there. Here's your chance. Okay, I have to give you, again, update. About 300 only left in the gray.
Oh, no.
This is the blue, so those are the only 2 colors that we have left. We started off with 5 different colors. This is it. And when we show you that counter again, my gosh, thousands, over 6,000 of these have been sold. And today, that you have the additional luxury of picking it up on 5 FlexPay, so it's $24. That's on any credit card, debit card, PayPal, Apple Pay. When we talk about FlexPay, it is not a layaway. Like, we are immediately going to ship this to your home. And the sooner you get it home, the better, because this is going to save you money. It's going to save you money. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting right next to it, and I talk about how this is the coldest studio in the entire place. I am so warm. It feels so toasty. But again, it's not drying. And that when I was, I went out and did a remote with Andrew and then went to New York afterwards, and we did some filming with DG2. And when these cold airs, you know, you're indoors in that heat, and it's like you almost can't breathe because it's so drying.
Exactly.
This is not that at all. That's the luxury of having that infrared heating that is so totally different. And all I can say to anyone out there, and you look at it.
Oh, look at how it comes to life when you turn
so
the
there are
lights
4
down.
different levels of the flame, because when you were hitting the button, we didn't get to see all the different ones.
Well,
but let's show. I want everyone to see that, because I like that you have the different brightness intensities.
Step right into this awesome shot
right
here.
Perfect.
I'm going to go right in here. And so
I love the ambiance.
See, that was 4 we had it. That's 3. That's 2. And that's 1. And then it's off. But I like to keep it on number 4.
Yes.
Notice that the logs themselves, Bobby Ray, are glowing.
Those even
just like it normally would be with a fire that had been going for hours. So congratulations if you've got yours. I gave a similar model to this. It didn't have the state-of-the-art features that this had, but it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was a Today's Special to my dad and my stepmom. And boy, my dad is like, do you want me to call?
I remember that you said this.
He used to do that all the time with me. He'd want me to call in. But he absolutely loved it, and he spent a lot of time in his study, the den, the TV room, where he watched the Red Sox, because we all, came from New England originally. But you're going to love this. I mean, and the other thing I love about this for a gift is perhaps somebody's in assisted living and they don't have they don't have complete control over the temperature in the unit that they're in. This is also a great idea for a college student, because those dorms are pretty much made out of cinder block, right? And same thing, the students don't always have complete control over the temperature in their particular unit. So it's a great gift in that regard. And I also like the idea, if you're going back to the office these days, and maybe you're off tonight watching at home, this is a great way to, to take something that weighs, 11 pounds to the office just one time and leave it there. And then you now have control over your cubby or your office.
Boats, campers, RVs. degrees, all the same thing. And you know, because the bottom line is you're going to get all this beautiful warmth from infrared, so it's not going to be drying. But again, you're getting it right where you need it. This made me think, and when Carrie's telling that story, it makes me think about my mom, because my mom was always cold. And that was so true. In an assisted living, you know, it's going to be one flat temperature. To be able to have this that you can put, maybe you're sitting right there in your favorite chair, watching television, or you're reading a book, or maybe you're in the kitchen cooking, or maybe you're in the bathroom. Can you imagine having how great this would be, like in a bathroom when you're getting out of the shower and it's cold outside? You're in control. You can adjust the temperature. You can adjust the beautiful, fabulous flame, and that's the other great option with this, because you can have just the flame. So you are really going to enjoy this all year round, right? You want to just have the ambiance and the charm, you're getting it, and you are getting it from 3 different angles. But let me tell you, right now, when we need this fabulous warmth, this is going to do it for you as well. And the fact that you have one of the last opportunities, this is the only show today with the final 2 colors. We'll let you know when we drop below 300 left in the gray. It's the gray, and then it's the gorgeous, like French provincial blue. Okay, we're now into only a little over 200 left in the gray. And I just put that out there because the gray is gonna work, by the way, in any decor, right? I mean, that's a wonderful thing. Right now, gray is like the color in most homes. So no matter, ta-da! What was the person? Carol Merrill, wasn't that her name? Like
That's
on
right, Carol Merrill,
yeah, Carol.
of course.
Used to do that display.
Well, one of the things that's interesting about this is the best crew in show business was just saying to me, hey, the heating element went out. Well, because it reached its temperature, so it has a built-in thermostat.
Good point.
Yeah, so we just went up a little bit because we went up to 76, and then the heating element turned back on again. So when it reaches the predestined temperature that you have decided, it will absolutely turn itself off, just like any other heating unit. So it has a built-in thermostat. So you set it with either the remote or on the large LED panel right here, and it will continue to turn on as needed. It will continue to sniff, if you will. It'll sniff the air. It'll be continuously taking the temperature of the room that it's in. And if you say, I want this living room kitchen area to be 72 degrees, you turn it on to 72. When the room gets to 72 degrees, the heating element will shut down for a little while, and it will continue to monitor the air. And then when it realizes, oh, we're down to 70 degrees, that heating element will turn back on again. And the flame effect will stay on the entire time. And you can use the flame effect throughout the year with the heater or without.
I love that. So how high can I put this?
Oh my gosh, you can put it up to the 90s.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, it's as low as the 50s and as high as the 90s. And when we talk about a large space, because it's a very powerful unit, because it weighs less than 11 pounds. 11 pounds. And it is only 21 inches tall, 17 inches wide, and it's 11 inches deep. But we're talking about a space the size of a 2-car garage.
Yeah.
466 square feet is a big space. We were showing you that floor plan a moment ago. Most bedrooms are around 180 to 200 square feet. If you have a real grand master bedroom, and then you've got that bathroom, maybe 250, maybe 300, maybe 350 for that huge bedroom. But this is going to cover a space, warm up a space to exactly the temperature that you want, up to 466 square feet. So that's a lot of area to cover with something that looks as compact and is as compact as this is. Great safety features again. If it were ever to overheat, it shuts itself off. If it were ever to fall forward, backward, left, or right, it has a pendulum switch in it. So it senses that it's falling forward or backward or to the left or the right, and it shuts itself off immediately. So great safety features, and I love the idea that you can zone heating. You can use zone heating and save some real money. I really think if you turn that thermostat down to a temperature that you would never even dream of turning it down to, because you would feel like that's going to be uncomfortable. Let's say 66 degrees. That's too cold. I don't want it to be 66. Turn it down to 66 and then turn this up to 72. It's going to be 72 degrees in the room that you're in.
And you know the funny thing about that, you do that, this can pay for itself in one heating bill.
Easily.
Right? I mean, that's the thing, because it's so expensive to heat your home. So think about it. You look at paying $119.99 today, which, by the way, our original price is $136. And if you do exactly that, as Carrie said, lower your temp at home, turn this on, you could end up saving that much money. You definitely will end up saving that much money in a heartbeat. But now, here's the thing. The clock is up on the screen. We have 200 only remaining in the gray. I just put that out there because if that, it's gray and blue. You know, all the other colors, because we started off with 5, they are all gone. So this is all we have left. And the fact that you can literally put it absolutely anywhere. It weighs a little over 10 pounds. So you can easily move it from room to room and heat the room that you're spending the time in, have the heat, or the fact that you're gonna enjoy, I love that you can enjoy it all year round because you can have just the flame effect without the heat. It has a crackle too, right?
It has a really subtle
Cool
little
crackle
that I really like. It's a little bit of white noise. It sort of helps us fall asleep.
Love
My
it.
brilliant and beautiful wife, Kara, is always insisting that this is on when we're watching TV, whether it's, even if it's a sporting event, she just wants it on. It's over in the corner. Here's a pro tip, by the way. Dear friend of mine and his lovely wife, they've been investing in real estate. And I think they're up to 3 or 4 Airbnbs now. They have their home base is up on in Long Island, where I grew up. He's in Brooklyn.
Right, right.
And so one of the things he said to me, he said, Carrie, he says, I got this fireplace, and the chimney is going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars to fix. I said, I got an idea for you. Get one of these warm living fireplace, heaters, and put it in the fireplace. So he bought the white one before it sold out, and the fireplace is all white, and in the middle of it is this, and he hid the cord, and he used it in the advertising for the Airbnb.
That's so cool. And listen, then you don't have all the soot, all the mess,
you don't have to chop the wood,
smoke.
Because when we go to an Airbnb and it has a regular fireplace, my wife is like, are you gonna go get the wood?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
Where's my fire? Where's my fire?
I want a fire. That's why we came here. I want a fire.
And you know what's funny with that? Because we have our big screen TV, comes out of the wall and comes down, but it's over the fireplace. So I can have TV or I can have fire.
Right.
So
choice.
Now I can have both.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So listen, you cannot go wrong. It's been, again, a favorite brand of us here. Look, we would not have sold, and we can pop up the counter, over 6,500 of these unless it was something that absolutely everybody loved. And that you have, don't forget, still that extended return policy till the end of January. But this is another item that you want to buy for you. You want to buy it for yourself, to give yourself that opportunity to really utilize the importance of zone heating and saving money. But